Spinning steel wool can produce incredible photos. Use long exposures to capture sparks that fly in all directions and can bounce and give you beautiful images. Here are a few things to help you get started when capturing steel wool photos. To start, safety is the most important thing. You are using fire and flying sparks that can cause fires, so you need to be aware of where you are spinning steel wool. I like to do it in a place where there aren't dry materials, like on a beach, or after there's been a lot of rain and everything is very wet. Sparks have gotten onto my clothes and make holes, so it is a good idea to wear older clothes that you are okay with getting ruined. When it comes to the steel wool, there are different grades of wool, from superfine, which is designated as number 0000, to medium or coarser wool, which is 0 or 1. The superfine wools are thinner, softer, and much easier to light, but they burn a lot quicker. The medium coarser wools are thicker and rough and are not easy to light. I like to put a little bit of the medium wool inside the superfine wool so it is easy to light, but the wool doesn't burn up too quickly when spun. I put the wool in a whisk. The larger the whisk, the more wool you can fit, but a standard whisk works really well. You don't want to bunch up the wool into a tightly packed ball because the flame won't be able to get into the inner part of the ball. You want to make sure that when you spin the whisk, the air is able to get into the ball of wool. I like a whisk that has a loop on the end where I can tie my rope. Because I need longer shutter speeds, I capture images after the sun has gone down or in dark places. I like to have shutter speeds of 10 seconds or more because that gives me time to spin the wool. If light is changing, I use aperture priority mode and I adjust my ISO to get the shutter speed that I am looking for. I will take some sample shots to see what the images are looking like and use exposure compensation if needed. I like to use aperture priority mode because as the light changes, the camera will adjust the shutter speed to get the exposure I am looking to achieve. You can also capture images in complete darkness where the light from the sparks is your only source of light, and in that case I would use manual exposure mode. If I am on my own, I use either the camera's self-timer or a remote shutter release. The faster I spin the whisk, the more air flows through the steel wool and the more sparks are created. You can spin the wool in one spot or you can move with the wool to capture spirals of light. You can even try to combine spinning steel wool with using flash to light your subject. Just make sure that when you spin steel wool that all the sparks have gone out and you are being safe. If you have any questions or ideas for steel wool photography, please write them in the comments below. If you like the content I am creating, please consider subscribing. Thanks so much.